handsome Prince Alcott falls for the beautiful princess, Snow White.
I live here. I'm kind of the princess.
What? You didn't tell me that.
But the jealous evil queen seizes control of the magical kingdom and casts the orphan princess into exile.
She's a princess.
With a band of rebel dwarfs, Snow White reclaims her throne and wins back her man in Mirror, Mirror.
Mirror, Mirror, the new creation from visionary director Tarsem Singh. We've all just seen it. Sean, why don't you take it away?
So Mirror, Mirror is the first of 2012's reimaginings of the Snow White legend. Later on this year, we'll have Snow White and the Huntsman, starring Twilight's Kristen Stewart.
This is a very straightforward retelling of Snow White. And it hits all the beats, but there's nothing special about it. There's no original takes or any twist to the story, so I found myself really bored.
It is very dependent on your knowledge of the Snow White fairy tale. If you go in not knowing anything about Snow White, you might be a little bit confused. The movie itself doesn't bother explaining to you why certain elements are in place, why the evil stepmother is evil, why she has black magic, why does she have a mirror that she can talk to. We even have a poison apple that shows up at one point. No one bothers to tell you that it's actually poisoned, you just have to assume that.
I love the dwarfs. The dwarfs were hilarious, and that was a story point that isn't focused on in other Snow White adaptations.
I can think of no greater group of warriors to lead into battle. Yeah! This is my fight.
What?
She locked us in! Guys! Hey, guys! You know we have a spare, right?
At the same time, it served to sort of, I think, get rid of some of the energy that the movie should have had. We separate the relationship between Snow White and the evil queen. The evil queen kicks her out, and then she's really with the dwarves for the rest of the movie. So what should be a really interesting relationship between those two characters is sort of in the background because they're rarely on screen together.
With Lily Collins, she looks like Snow White, but she didn't bring enough to her character that made it really pop. The supporting characters like Nathan Lane and Robert Ems, they brought a lot of energy, but why didn't the stars of this movie have that level of energy?
I was a cockroach.
So there's a musical that occurs during the credit sequence, and that is the most emotion I've seen out of Lily Collins throughout the entire film. All of a sudden, her face lights up, she starts dancing and singing, and I wish she retained that kind of energy throughout the film that she did at the end of the film.
Even Julia Roberts, people refer to her in the script as being evil, but she's not very menacing in this picture. The 1937 Disney animated queen was scarier than what Julia Roberts brings. She's just basically being evil Julia Roberts.
I completely agree with you. I felt like Julia Roberts was having a surface performance and she wasn't really delving into the evil of the character.
Puppy love. What am I supposed to do with a puppy?
Fetch!
Go get it! If you had your pick of any guy to play a fairy tale prince, Armie Hammer is the perfect choice. He's perfect looking. He's got comedic timing, he's got the physicality. He's actually the only casting choice in this film that I feel I can fully support.
I think he's charming. He's given 3 major performances that we've seen him in The Social Network and J. Edgar and now Mirror, Mirror, and they're distinctive each time. So he's a young actor that really has a lot of range, and he brings it here too. If you're gonna aim for visual lavishness in this day and age, there's no better director than Tarsem. Although even here, it is beautiful, it's great to look at, but I don't think that it necessarily reaches the visual majesty that we've seen from movies like The Cell or The Fall or even Immortals last year.
I actually felt like it was a much more magnificently visual film than Immortals. We're talking about the Queen's Lair, and her wallpaper is moving clouds. So we're looking at a constantly changing sky behind her. The costume design, of course, the makeup, every single detail is fantastic.
Yeah, but it's the sets of Tarsem. It's Tarsem on a stage. You don't have the Tarsem that you got with movies like The Fall, where he's out in strange or exotic places in the world shooting on location.
In the opening sequence of the film is an animated sequence of basically these 2D figures acting out our backstory.
They're very reminiscent of what was in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, where they sort of described the Deathly Hallows with that animation. And I definitely perked up when I saw that. I got excited about this movie, and then right when we come back from the animation to the real-life photography, I kind of went, nah.
When I saw the opening sequence, I thought to myself, like, they're gonna do something really interesting with this movie, and they did when it came to the visuals.
Well, I think we can't reflect on this movie any more than that, so we should all just take our tickets and vote.
The writing and the acting in this movie was kind of but it's worth checking out for the visuals. Stream it.
Mirror, Mirror. The title's redundant, so is the plot. Young female audiences will be entertained, but there's nothing fresh to keep adult audiences interested. Stream it.
The film is absolutely gorgeous, but it's a problem when your set design and your costumes outshine your performances. So I also say stream it.
So if I ask the magic mirror what the vote is, our votes add up to 1.5 tickets, which is a stream it for Mirror, Mirror.